If you have a growing family, there's a really good chance you're looking at mid-size 3-row SUVs. Subaru got back into the segment with this, the Ascent. It's a strong choice in a very competitive class, but it's not our top pick. The Ascent maintains Subaru's tradition of letting outward-bound families get off the beaten path. We're here to show you where it shines, as well as where it could use a little improvement against our favorite, the Kia Telluride.
Oh man, I thought I was your favorite.
On paper, both SUVs are very similar. Both start right at $33,000 and remain comparably priced up to these top trims that cost about $45,000 before options. The Telluride is estimated at 21 miles per gallon, barely edged out by the Ascent's 22 miles per gallon. Both have a long list of advanced safety features and get similarly high safety scores from NHTSA and IIHS too.
The Telluride has a horsepower advantage, but the Ascent has more torque, so we'll call that basically even. That's confirmed by our test results, where the Ascent was a tenth quicker to 60 miles per hour, but the Telluride crossed the quarter mile 3/10 ahead. If you're concerned about towing, well, that is dead even between them at 5,000 pounds when properly equipped.
Here at Edmunds, we test over 300 vehicles a year at our private test track, as well as real-world evaluations on public roads. As close as these vehicle specs are to each other, you'd expect them to be tied for first place in our rankings. Instead, the Ascent trails in a number of areas, which are best demonstrated with more than graphics. Elana, we spent a lot of time with both vehicles. What do you think of the Ascent?
Well, I am a Subaru fan. I've always liked the brand. I think it has a good vibe, and I can picture the engineers really wanting people to go out in their cars and have fun. The Ascent is a turbo 4 instead of the more classic 6, but it is not slow or underpowered. I would say maybe that it's is unrefined fair?
That's a fair statement.
Yeah. In fairness, it's only compared to the Telluride, which is smooth.
Agreed, totally.
I kind of liked the Subaru's rugged ride quality, but I know that you, Fancy Mark, had some quibbles.
I wish there was a little more extension from that steering column, because as it is, I have to slide my seat just a little further forward than I prefer. Then there are the seats themselves. They're oddly cushioned, a little too squishy on top, and oddly too firm below that. The biggest difference between the two, though, is noise. You hear a lot more road and engine noise in the Subaru than you do with the Kia.
The radio's for you, just turn it up.
Fair enough.
I mean, speaking of infotainment, I really liked the dual screen setup in the Ascent. I mean, I like the way that it looked. Usability, on the other hand, it's not great. Controls are all over the place. I mean, there's like controls on the ceiling, and it is not intuitive at all.
The Telluride's infotainment gets high marks for its inclusion of Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We also like that it has plenty of USB ports that are well placed. The screen resolution is very sharp, and its responses are very quick. Furthermore, the menus are logically laid out and easy to use without ever having to consult a manual.
A bigger complaint might be that compared to the Telluride, the Ascent is a big 3-row SUV, but it doesn't have that much space. Like the back seat, the 3rd row, you cannot put adults back there, and really it's not that comfortable for kids either. It's also a little bit difficult to get those seats up and down. It's like a multi-step process. So again, little stuff that just makes it slightly less useful.
The good thing, though, is the Ascent has 19 cup holders, which Subaru was so proud to tout when they introduced it. Now that seems a little excessive for a vehicle that can only seat 8 passengers, but those cup holders are grouped together so you can put much larger objects in them.
Yeah, I did actually think that the Subaru had better small item storage than the Telluride.
Yeah, marginally. Now, none of these drawbacks for the Subaru are so critical that we consider them deal breakers. Collectively though, they subtract just enough points to drop it down to 7th place in our rankings.
It's kind of a death by a thousand cuts thing.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Especially when the Telluride just keeps pulling ahead in rankings no matter what we compare it to. I mean, some of that is that it has like a longer warranty and more cargo space. You know, compared to the Ascent, the Telluride has 3.4 cubic feet more cargo room, which is about the size of a medium suitcase or like a Cocker Spaniel, depending on how it is that you measure size. You know which one I would pick.
Yes, I do. It's a suitcase.
I mean, this is subjective, but style-wise, inside and out, the Telluride looks great. The materials look really expensive, and outside it's just the perfect mix of kind of like elegance and truckiness. So it looks tough, but it also looks fancy. You know, I just took it on a road trip, and never in all of my years of driving have I ever got a thumbs up from someone on the highway while driving an SUV. It happened twice in the Telluride. At one point, I pulled into a racetrack and the security guard was like, "What is this?" And he wanted to look at it, and I had to open the windows, let him look inside. And you know, to quote him after he had checked it out, "Kia is stepping it up."
Well, that makes perfect sense that the Telluride had a waiting list for shoppers for its first year of production. As close as the performance specs are between the Subaru and the Kia, the Telluride simply is a better SUV to drive. It gathers speed more smoothly. That standard V6 sounds great doing it too.
Yeah, it is little things, but they all add up to make the Kia feel really special. And you add that to the fact that it will also do all the day-to-day business things that you need it to do, and you have just a really great vehicle.
Agreed. It's abundantly clear that the Kia Telluride deserves its top spot among SUVs. For the same price as rivals, it exceeds expectations. The Ascent, on the other hand, meets expectations, but it is a big step in the right direction. Even if the Telluride didn't exist, it would still have to contend with the likes of the Honda Pilot, the Hyundai Palisade, the Volkswagen Atlas, and the Mazda CX-9, all of which got higher Edmunds rankings.
Yeah, this is a busy segment, which makes it that much more impressive that the Telluride came in and went straight to the top.
Indeed. Let us know what you think in the comments below. For more information on the Ascent or the Telluride, head on over to Edmunds.com. That's Edmunds.com.